What's going on, guys? Blake Hawthorn, it's His Turf. Tonight we're talking about what to do when another lawn care company undercuts your price. Welcome to Lawn Care Tips and Tricks. In tonight's video, we're going to be talking about how I got undercut from another lawn care company on a commercial contract. I actually lost over $6,000 in annual revenue just from this one contract. A little history on this project. A little bit of history on this project. Why do I keep calling it project?
I don't know, we call it commercial
property. Commercial property. All right, a little bit of history on this project. It is not a project, guys. It is the A little bit of history on this commercial property. We actually had this property for 7 years. We picked it up as a 1-year contract, then picked it up for a 2-year contract, and then ended up landing a 5-year contract on this property. With this contract that we had on this property is they actually would increase annually based on what they thought that minimum wage was gonna do, what was gonna happen with fuel prices, and that way we could lock in on a long-term contract with them. The great thing about this is it allowed for us to be able to grow and expand our company, as well as manage their property without having to increase any rates. This is one of the very few properties that we actually increased rates on over the years, and this is something that they offered to us in a long-term contract with them. With that type of contract, it did have some stipulations. If minimum wage reached over this rate, or if fuel prices went over this rate, then we could renegotiate the terms of the contract. That's something I recommend that you put in any of your contracts. All right, so as our 5-year contract came to an end, what happened was this property opened it up to the public to come in to bid for the property for the renewal of the contract. We were already going to be increasing our rates on this project. Golly! They also allowed for other contractors to be able to see the price that we were charging for the property. We already were increasing our rates by $15 a month. When we lost the bid on this property, I did ask the manager what it was that they signed the contract for, so I would know what I was looking at, if it was worth pursuing, if it was something else I could pick up. And that's when I found out that they had actually price dropped us by almost $200 a month. And that's when I knew that we could not compete on this property to continue their services. That's when I wished the manager the best of luck with their services and to give us a call if anything ever happened. About 6 months later down the road, what do you know, we get a phone call. As we took back over this property, the thing that I want to talk to you guys about is how you handle yourself in that situation. I feel like I handled myself, very well initially when losing the property, being able to find out what I lost it at, and that's key in picking up commercial properties, which we'll talk about in a future lawn care tips and tricks video, is bidding commercial properties. But, we were able to figure out what they priced it as, and then we were just able to tell them, hey, we understand, this is part of the process, but if you ever need anything. So in that moment of losing the client is what I really want to focus on, guys, is how you handle yourself in that moment, because it's going to happen to you if you're out here bidding properties, residential or commercial. And so the things that I want to really focus on, first thing is going to be what allowed that contractor to be able to undercut our price that way. Was he just doing it to pick up the property? Was he trying to, price gouge, be enough below it? Because he already had our rates there in front of him, and he dropped them by $185 a month. So what led him to that? Other things may be that his cost of operations are less than what our cost of operations are. Or 2, he may have underestimated different things on the service of the property as far as how often he was going to have to be trimming, or how often he was going to have to take care of that hillside, things like that. So those of you that have followed me on Instagram, you've seen that, me going back to this property, following up, seeing the care and the shape that this property was in, just because I just had this feeling from the get-go that the guy that underbid us didn't understand what all that contract was going to entail and how to properly take care of it. And so as that happened, the next steps are what's so important for you guys. When you're bidding commercial properties, you're not going to win a lot of them. And so I was able to ask how much I had lost the bid by, and then I was able to then just tell them, hey, if things don't work out, please give us a call. We would love to pick your property back up, and then just leave on good terms. And I feel like that integrity and the way that I held myself in that situation, instead of getting mad or just storming off, being able to handle myself in that situation is what allowed us to get the call back and to take back over this property. When we did take back over this property, we didn't price gouge him and saying, oh, well, if you want me back, it's going to be this much. We just went back and said, hey, this is the price we bid you to maintain it. We will maintain it for this price. And they accepted it, and we were able to continue doing the services on that property. I know some of you may disagree with that, and you may think that, oh, we should have hit them with a premium price. My thing is, I just feel like if you're very fair and very honest, that it's going to repay you in this industry. And so I just wanted to continue that, even though I felt like I did have some grounds to stand on, to hit them at a higher rate, mid-season for us to take back over the property. Also, in losing this contract, it makes you kind of think about some things. What are some services that maybe I didn't, fill to par? What are some things that maybe that we lacked on? And as I kind of analyze that and think back onto that property, there were some flower beds up by the front of the building that we could have done a better job of taking care of, whereas they weren't visible from the road where a lot of the other shrub trimming is, that they got put to the wayside. They didn't get done near as often as we did the hedges down below at the street side. And so I think that if we had taken better care of those flower beds up there, that we may have even had better grounds to stand on and working with them in the future. And that was something that as we took this contract back over, that we wanted to really focus on and make sure we were taken care of, because I did know that we had neglected to give them full service on that part of their contract. All right, guys, well, I hope you found tonight's video helpful. Sunday night, we're going to be talking about how you can bid commercial properties, so be sure and check out that. I feel like it'll go hand in hand with tonight's video. But thank you so much for checking out. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you'll apply this to maybe you losing a contract and how to lose with grace. I know that's something that I do not do well at all, and so this is something that was definitely an experience for me, and one for the book. So thank you so much, guys. God bless, and we'll see you Sunday night here on Lawn Care Tips and Tricks.